Fear takes a huge role in rejuvenation and in mortality, and in general in your spiritual path, whatever path you want to take. To not be ruled by fear is so important for you to get close to your higher self, or for any kind of happiness you want to achieve, or simply to achieve a vibration of love. To not be afraid doesn't mean to be reckless. In this stage of evolution that you are in, and in this era that you currently are, you still have a reptilian part of your brain. You have this instinct in you, which you don't have to completely ignore. But it's so important that you learn how to just listen to it, look at it, take conclusions, but without letting that rule you in any way. The next decade that is about to come, the next 10 years, are gonna be not bad, but challenging. Not for you, as if you are listening to this, you probably are in a state which makes you one of those people who will feel that their evolution is speeding up and it's going way faster than before. And you are meant to lead the other ones. The ones who are in between darkness and light, or the ones who are blind, still buying all the lies around them. Fear will be a weapon used against humans, and it's important that all of you remember to fully reject fear. Do not let fear be the seat of anything you have in your life. Be determined on your beliefs so you can be a magnet for other people. And remember that Earth may seem unfair, but the universe is not unfair. The energies are always balanced, whether you realize it or not. Some bad things are happening because people are voluntarily choosing to fall into that. They are choosing that with their free will. But for every single attack that you get as a collective, you also get the same amount of light. And I don't know if you noticed lately that together with very low and negative vibrations, you also received the same amount of loving and high vibrations. So remember, if you feel in future events that you are controlled, or that things which are not good for humanity are happening, you have also the choice to just tap into those higher energies which are being sent exactly at the same time that those bad things are happening. Love and light will always exist, and there is nothing which can destroy it. Without love and light, there will not even be existence. Nothing will even exist. So let's talk about fear. I don't want you to be afraid, even of your own mistakes. Remember that fear is faith in negative. It has the same magnetic power. So when you are afraid of making a mistake, usually you are attracting that same thing that you are afraid of. And usually you are pulled to do more mistakes. That doesn't mean you have to just jump into things without thinking, or without taking time to just listen to what is your spirit telling you to do. I'm just saying that you should embrace life fully. To listen to your spirit, to not act impulsively, to listen to your spiritual guidance, but to not be afraid of anything. Sometimes a mistake can be the best thing that happens to you. And sometimes it's the only way to receive a message that you were not able to hear before. I know that in life there is a very chaotic mixture of light and darkness. But life is always holding you and taking care of you. Every second of your life is just created for you to renew yourself. The whole existence that you see around is just for you to grow higher and higher. Doesn't matter how it may superficially look like, every single second of your life is medicine. That's the reason you're alive. So do not reject life. Do not reject the future because of fears that you may have. Listen to your inner guidance, but also fully embrace life. When you are afraid of mistakes, when you are afraid of bad things happening, it's like if you are telling to your life, "Oh, you don't love me." And then life cannot bring you love back. I know that sometimes you have to go through really hard situations. But please never forget, even during that times, light and love is underneath of that situation, and you are being supported every single second. The truth is that everything you do, everything you go through, any mistake, any painful wound, absolutely everything can be undone and regenerated and renewed and just completely erased. That's the purpose of the whole existence. And actually there is nothing to be afraid of, because changes in your life are like a theater. External things will go in this or that way. But your soul, your essence, the love you have inside, the only thing which is real in you, that will never ever be destroyed and that will never go away. You cannot even go backwards. When you achieved a certain level of love in your soul, there is nothing which can undo that. Darkness can be undone. Light cannot. That's why light is stronger. There is this misconception in some religions about the evolution of your soul going backwards. Meaning that, let's say you did something wrong in this life, and then you reincarnate to a lower form. To say it simple, you reincarnate into a spider or into a pig. That's one of the ways that the truth have been a little modified for you to not fully benefit from it. All religions have traces of truth. That's why many things from many religions resonate in people's heart, because there is traces of truth there, and every soul can feel that. But those truths have been a little modified, just modified enough for people to have something inside themselves which tells them, oh, there is truth there, but to also not be able to get into a true awakening. What I was saying is that the soul can never go backwards. You as a soul can never go into a lower state that you already are. That will absolutely break the laws of the universe. You can get stuck into a low place for lives and lives. You may not be able to progress. You may get trapped into the same karma cycle for lives and lives. But you never ever go backwards. Every single beat of your heart is made for you to renew yourself, is made for you to go up, for you to evolve more. Even every really bad situation that you may have, it's a way to balance the energies, for you to let go of some burden and to see the light. So I know life is a strange mixture right now on earth, There is evil and there is cruelty. There is really, really low vibrations. But the real reason you are here is just to grow in love and light. I repeat again, that is the reason of existence, and that is holding you every single second. And that is the only real thing behind everything else. Even if you die, you will reincarnate with the same essence, the same soul, the same energy, in a body which will have the same blueprint than the body that you have now. And anything that happens will be again rebalanced for you or anyone else around you to get into the light again. I just hope remembering about that make you feel more safe and taken care of on earth, and that you can fully drop any fear that you have inside. To manifest youth and immortality, you need to be in a high vibration, as immortality and rejuvenation is actually a divine concept. Doesn't matter if you achieve it or not, but just having that concept in mind, just working towards it, just being brave enough to have that kind of faith and innocence will bring you way farther in your evolution. And that is what is actually important. Fear is a very low vibration, and if you want to attract something which is in a high vibration, you cannot be living your life in a really fearful state. That's why fear is an important subject to talk about if you are taking the path of immortality, or simply if you just want to heal yourself or rejuvenate. As fear is a blocking energy, and you can really feel it on your physical body. When you're afraid, you get frozen, you get really blocked. The same thing happens with the creative energies that you are sending from your auric field to manifest something. Fear can block those creative energies. It's not by chance that fear is the best weapon which have been used to control humanity. It's okay if you have fears and if you are afraid. That is absolutely natural. Just embrace it. As long as it's not taking over you and it's not a permanent vibration in you, it won't affect you for manifesting anything. Just treat it like if you're in a room with a tiger. If you are not even aware that there is a tiger there, probably the tiger will just eat you very quickly. It will take over you in a second. If you try to fight with the tiger in a reckless way, that will be also not the solution. Some people, when they feel that fear is bothering them too much, they take the other extreme, because they are exhausted of being afraid. And they may want to solve it doing things which may harm themselves. That will be like jumping up on the tiger and fighting with it. And that is not the solution. The solution will be to just be aware that there is a tiger there, to try to feed the tiger, to find a way to make that tiger peaceful, and to be together with that tiger in the same place. To take a moment to have awareness about that, about the presence of that tiger, and to think what to do about it. That is what you can do. You can speak to your fear like it's a tiger that doesn't belong to you. You can use it in a good way. Fear doesn't have to destroy you if you don't let it take over you, if you are the one who is deciding. If you listen to your fears without identifying with them, they can give you information about unhealed traumas that you may have. They may give you information about real dangers sometimes. Sometimes they may even show you the right direction to go to. I'm sure you have experienced that when something is very important for you, you are a little bit attached to that. Attachment is always fear. But you also are very excited about that thing. So sometimes if you observe some of the things which makes you afraid, you will see that you are also attached to that things happening in the future, for example. And you will see that probably that things are important for you and you have to do that. And then just listen to your excitement and not to your fear. And just remind yourself all the reasons that you have to not be afraid, because you are never losing anything. You are just always experiencing and just gaining light and knowledge. Learn to just be aware of the energy of fear. Learn to speak to your fear to see what it has to say, but to never let fear be the seed which your life is based on. Track back your decisions and see if the root of your decisions is fear or is love. Picture it like if you are planting a plant. If you plant a seed of fear into the garden, you will never get a beautiful plant. Plant seeds of love and faith in your life, and you will for sure be rewarded with a beautiful garden, which will attract other souls who will also want to join it. I also want to tell you that as much as you work on your fears and as much as you ascend, you are simultaneously changing the past and the future. I know that's a bit strange, and it's difficult to explain it just with words. It's like if you are looking at a mirror and you see the image that is in front of you, and you also see the things which are behind you, and those three images are happening at the same time. You are seeing those three images at the same time. There is this human fantasy that if you take a time machine and you go to the past, you go 5 years back, and you had a bad situation back then, you will see yourself crying and be in that situation. That is not at all what will happen, as every time you are healing something in the present, you are also healing it from the past, you are erasing that from the past. And by not letting fear take over you, you are also erasing centuries and centuries of fear taking over the whole humanity. You are healing that. So please embrace life. Know that life is holding you all the time. Fully drop guilt and fear, because that's really taking you back from ascending. Love every single thing of you and of your path. And walk through your path with that special beautiful sparkle in your eyes of somebody who have more faith than fear.